Show temperatures warming back up in the upper 80s.
All right, thank you, Mark. That is our news for now. Join us again at noon.
If it's important to save money on your family's weekly grocery bill, shop Southeastern Meats, where you can save up to 20% every day.
Save on 3 pounds breaded buffalo chicken wings, $3.99. USDA boneless top butt sirloin steaks, $2.49 a pound. Tony's sausage and cheese pizzas, 16 counts, $6.99. Grade A extra large eggs, 79 cents a dozen. And fresh lean ground chocolate, low, $1.19 a pound.
Southeastern Meats can't be beat.
This is it. It's the big one. The biggest one-day sale of the season at Rich's this Wednesday. Dockers wrinkle-free classic twill pants, just $32.99. Save an extra 10% on our entire stock of already reduced swimwear. And American Flyers Glenport luggage, 4-piece set, just $84.99. It's the big one. So shop early, stay late. This Wednesday, the big one at Rich's.
WBRC TV Channel 6 is a proud supporter of Birmingham soccer.
From Clearfield, Pennsylvania, and I'm the last one in line at Fanfare. Good morning, America!
The last one in line. Good morning, everyone. I'm Charles Gibson.
And I'm John Lennon. It is Wednesday. It's June 12th.
And we have our cameras down in Nashville today for Fanfare. That's the thing where dozens, or the event where dozens of top country artists perform for and meet thousands of fans. It is so nice when people actually go down and sign autographs and do it for free. I mean, that's really nice. They meet their fans.
And they throw huge breakfasts for them, and it's really great.
Yeah, you pay to get in, but they stand around and they sign autographs and meet their fans, which I think is a very nice thing to do. Anyway, there is one new star who's really got everyone's attention. She credits Patsy Cline and Barbra Streisand as her major influences, and she's 13 years old. 13 years old. But it's no big deal. I mean, she's a veteran. She's been at it since she was 11. We're going to introduce you to LeAnn Rimes a little later on.
And also ahead in this half hour, what does it take to be a producer in Hollywood? Well, coming up, we will hear about John Peters and Peter Guber, who were once two of the movie industry's really top producers. There's a new book out that says they spent money like water. They wound up losing some, I don't know, $3 billion for Columbia Pictures, and we are going to hear from one of the authors of that book in just a few minutes. And then, spaghetti a la Spencer. It's a great recipe. I've been making it for a long time. It's a part of our week of family recipes.
Is it your recipe or is it Spencer's recipe?
No, it's Spencer's, absolutely Spencer's recipe.
All right.
And it's really, really a good one. Right now, though, we will get caught up on all the latest news with Elizabeth Vargas. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Joan and Charlie. Hello again, everybody. President Clinton's trip to South Carolina hit a bump in the road last night at 33,000 feet. Air Force One hit turbulence when it ran into thunderstorms over Texas. Meals and drinks went flying. One Secret Service agent cut his hand. The president was buckled in and unhurt. Robert Dole is making more than one change in his life. The former Senate Majority Leader, now full-time candidate, is changing the name of his campaign plane. The leader's ship now becomes the citizen's ship. Dole's departure from the Senate opens the door for a new majority leader, and that choice is expected to be Dole's number 2, a Mississippian little known outside Washington. Here's ABC's Bob Zelnick.
Bob Dole won applause from his peers because he was a man of consensus. Senate Republicans will likely elect Trent Lott to succeed him because they see Lott as a man of change.
Republicans are committed to less government, less taxation, more freedom. More freedom.
Nor will Lott suffer the distractions of a presidential campaign.
I think that gives him more latitude in terms of confrontation. I think he can take on the Bill Clinton and the Clinton administration, and he can do so with a certain impunity.
Lott spent 22 years in the House, where he first gained notice as a Judiciary Committee member voting against impeaching Richard Nixon. As he rose to House Republican whip, his hard-edged conservatism made him a favorite of another rising GOP star, Newt Gingrich. To liberal House Democrats, that portends an ominous House-Senate alliance.
The Senate will become a lot more like the House, which is about the last thing we need.
If you want to get to the promised land.
Doubters warn that to succeed, Lott will have to work in harmony with Democrats as well as conservative Republicans. But for now, Lott reflects the mood of the new generation of Senate Republicans who argue that to achieve real change, you've got to run over the Democrats, not run to them. Bob Zelnick, ABC News on Capitol Hill.
The FCC is telling cell phone companies to upgrade their technology so that emergency dispatchers can locate callers who use cell phones to dial 911. Emergency calls placed from home phones already reveal the call's origin. The FCC wants cell phones to do the same within 5 years. We have another look at inflation. The government reports the Consumer Price Index in May rose 0.3%. That compares with 0.4 in April. Turning now to sports, sports fans can get some real bargains in Seattle today. Just hours before Game 4 of the NBA Championship Series, prices have been slashed on Supersonics T-shirts and championship souvenirs. The Chicago Bulls are leading the Sonics in the best-of-7 series 3-0. And it sounds like at least the salesmen don't have a lot of faith the Sonics are going to pull this one out. Spencer, it's time to go to you. Before you cook, you're going to do a little weather for us?
I'll do a little weather just to work up an appetite, so I'll be able to eat more when I get ready to cook. So stay tuned. You'll want to see this recipe. Right now, we have a heat wave to talk about across the Hawaiian Islands. Honolulu yesterday had a record high for that date of 92 degrees. In fact, it tied the all-time June high for Honolulu, which is usually warm, but rarely this hot. And the heat's going to continue over Hawaii today, as it will over the western states and down through the southwest and into the central plains, where highs will soar into the 90s. The only cooler than normal spot today up in the Great Lakes in the Ohio Valley, where highs will reach only to the 70s. There'll be lots of cloud cover here, showers and thunder showers over the upper Midwest and Northeast, up and down the Atlantic coast. They'll be widely scattered, but locally heavy, and storms reaching back through the central plains and into the central Rockies as well. That's a look at the national weather. Here's a look at the weather where you are.
Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Looking for scattered showers and thunderstorms. A pretty safe bet in our forecast today. High temperature 86. We may still get a little sunshine in between, with temperatures falling back in the 60s tonight. Our next 7 days show temperatures continue to warm up, and we should be dry.
Weather report has been brought to you by Carrier Air Conditioning, and Good Morning America will continue in just a moment. Stay with us.
Don't let this happen to you.
All that money?
Robbed blind by an energy thief. Protect yourself with the Weather Maker from Carrier, the world's leading brand. It's the most energy-efficient air conditioner around. It'll save you up to 60% on your cooling costs.
60%? Wow.
Hey, the Mitchells are getting new gutters.
Call your Carrier dealer. It'd be a crime to call anyone else.
Do you dream in color? Hot pink, perhaps. Blue. Gold. Aquamarine. Ah, red. The big red boat. And then a Walt Disney World Resort vacation. All for very little green. Kids cruise free. 1-800-DREAM-54.
Important restrictions apply.
What good are wrinkle-free pants without a wrinkle-free shirt? Now during the JCPenney Father's Day sale, all our Stafford Executive wrinkle-free dress shirts are on sale, including solids at $24.99 and stripes for just $27.99. So for the best value on wrinkle-free dress shirts, hurry to the JCPenney Father's Day sale. After all, what good is a wrinkle-free dress shirt without an affordable price? JCPenney.
The lights were out. John's sound asleep. And what am I doing? I'm hurting. I can't sleep, and I've got to work tomorrow. But I wasn't so sure about taking something. About how I'd feel in the morning. I went ahead and took Tylenol PM. It was the right choice. It stops my pain. It helps me sleep. So when morning comes, I'm ready to go. Right on time. All rested and feeling great. On, honey.
Rest easy. It's Tylenol PM. Now also available in easy-to-swallow gel tabs.
It is 22 minutes before the hour. They were the movie moguls of the 1980s. John Peters and Peter Guber were among Hollywood's hottest producers when Sony hired them to run Columbia Pictures, which it bought in 1989. Now, Guber and Peters had absolutely no experience running a studio, and their high spending would wind up costing Sony billions of dollars. Their rise and fall is detailed in a new book. It is called Hit and Run: How John Peters and Peter Guber Took Sony for a Ride in Hollywood. It's written by Nancy Griffin and Kim Masters is joining us this morning, and I suspect this is not a book that they will particularly like. We invited them to come on. They said no. They want to stay away from this.
Well, Peter Guber dislikes a little more than John Peters. You remember John Peters was Barbra Streisand's former hairdresser, and he kind of likes the idea of himself as this larger-than-life, wild Hollywood mogul who went around beating people up and romancing beautiful women.
Hollywood is a strange town.
Yes.
But this is so strange that a major company would give these two guys control of a studio and control of so much money. As you point out, Peter's virtually illiterate, basically trained as a hairdresser, and Guber, a guy who had not had a very successful career in Hollywood, and yet all of a sudden, they have a major studio.
Well, John and Peter's greatest skill is that they were great at promoting themselves, and they were able to get their names on a lot of projects like Batman and Rain Man and convince people that they were these red-hot producers, when in fact, they visited the Rain Man set once, and when they did The Color Purple with Steven Spielberg, they were barred from the set by his contract, but they told everybody that they had made a movie with Steven Spielberg, and if you're from Japan, that sounds pretty good.
What made these guys, I mean, other than the fact they attached their names to movies that perhaps they didn't have as much to do with as they said, but what made them? What gave Sony the idea that they could actually do something?
Well, they had some skill at picking properties and getting their names on it. In some cases, they produced some really major blockbusters like Batman. But they were also just these fabulous self-promoters. They were just great at selling themselves. In fact, Peters and Guber's greatest production was Peters and Guber. And they just put on a dazzling show. They convinced the campaign to make themselves look like red hot. They borrowed an Oscar from Rain Man, which went to the screenwriter and posed with it so that everybody would think that they had won this great Oscar.
What kind of money were they spending?
They were spending all kinds of money in every possible way, from office decor to fresh flowers every day. They spent billions and billions on everything from renovating the lot in these lavish ways. Peter Guber, at one point, he would have trees planted and decided they looked too small and skimpy, so he'd have them ripped up and then he'd put in bigger trees.
Well, this was in the early 90s.
Yes, in the early to mid-90s.
What brought them down? What kinds of movies did eventually they make that were so bad that Sony finally had to bounce them?
Well, some of their movies weren't bad, but all of them were expensive, and none of them was ever a huge breakaway hit. The sort of the emblem of it all was Last Action Hero, which actually was not their biggest money loser, but was so hyped as this big, great movie, which was, again, the way they did business was to hype, that when it bombed, everybody thought that it was the biggest just disaster in the history of Hollywood. Now, in fact, they had other films like Geronimo that quietly lost much more money. They had pictures that lost $30, $40, $50 million that people paid. Bugsy lost $30 million, and nobody really noticed that one. But something like Last Action Hero was just a very publicized disaster.
Because it was a Schwarzenegger movie.
Well, and because Columbia walked around, and John was gone by then, but Peter and his underlings, Mark Canton, they all walked around saying, wow, this is going to be the biggest movie, this is going to be huge. Before they'd even seen it, they were telling people this is one of the greatest action pictures ever made, and they had arranged for a rocket to go in space. They had all this hype.
Now, as badly as they ran the studio, they still walked away with good money, didn't they?
Oh, they've got very rich production deals, although Sony has just announced that it's cutting back Peter Guber's deal, but after being fired, they still gave him an incredibly lavish production deal.
How can that kind of thing happen? Hollywood is a town of hype, but how could it fall itself for hype? It seems to me people who run studios would recognize that more than anyone.
Well, this is an extraordinary case in a town of extraordinary incidences. This is a particularly out of the over-the-top event. You have to remember that, first of all, Sony was in Tokyo, and they left everything in the hands of the American manager in New York, Mickey Schulhoff, and he was a physicist by training. And by most accounts, he just fell in love with Hollywood, and he was dazzled by Peter Guber particularly, and he kept believing that the next hit was just around the corner, and he ended up, even when Peter had to be fired, giving him this fabulous deal.
What shape is Columbia Pictures in now?
Well, they're still kind of struggling to turn themselves around, and they've got, you know, the cable guys coming out soon. The word on that is this is not the Jim Carrey that all of us wanted to see. They paid him $20 million to be in this, and once again, you know, an outlandish price that all the other studios were aghast, because now all the other stars are saying, well, Jim Carrey got $20 million, I want at least that much, and this inflation continues, and Columbia has really just hasn't pulled itself together.
So there's still a legacy of these guys, even though they have been moved out.
Absolutely.
Kim Masters, thank you very much. Good reading.
Thank you.
Enjoy it. It is now 43 minutes after the hour. Next, the only country star whose concerts are probably past her bedtime. You're going to meet 13-year-old LeAnn Rimes when Good Morning America continues here on ABC.
We've got one of music's biggest international stars joining us on the next Live with Regis and Kathy Lee. Wednesday, she's the Grammy Award-winning singer who's taking control of her destiny. Gloria Estefan. Later in the week, the Cable Guy's sidekick Matthew Broderick, the musical Meatloaf, ER's Noah Wiley, plus Chicago Hope's Christine Lottie and Mandy Patinkin. So join us all week for Live. Today at 9 on WBRC.
Beacon House Furniture must vacate. It's the end of an era. After 40 years, Beacon House Furniture in Homewood is going out of business. Our building has been sold to Forbes Piano. The situation is drastic. A massive wall-to-wall liquidation is underway. Beacon House must sell and sell now. Everything goes to the bare walls. The best in the business for pennies on the dollar. 7 days of frantic furniture selling. Hurry to Beacon House Furniture. Accepting cash or check. All major credit cards. 90 days, same as cash. Bring a truck or a van and haul away the value. Beacon House Furniture, 3048 Highway 31 South in Homewood. Hurry, the end is near.
We're Just for Feet, the world's largest athletic shoe store, where you'll find the largest selection of Rockports in the state. The latest, hottest style. From dress to casual, from in-town working to world tour walking, Rockport has the newest styles for you. Just for Feet also has some of your classic Rockport favorites. 20% off some great Rockport style. For men and women, for dress and casual, at 20% off. This week at Just for Feet, where your 13th pair is free.
You know what this is? It's a whole new world. And this is the only fragrance you'll need. Hugo? Yeah, Hugo Boss. Hey, the world is getting smaller. Smell better. Hugo. Don't imitate. Innovate.
Check out the Hugo Stash Bag. Yours for only $50. Available at Parisian.
Our Brian Leary has been at the fanfare in Nashville all morning, and she's come across an amazing young girl who is taking the country music world by storm. Her name is LeAnn Rimes. She's only 13 years old. Hi again, Brian.
Hey, Joan, it is amazing. I have to keep reminding myself about her age, because when I watched her perform, not only does she look a little sophisticated because of all the makeup and stuff, but you would not believe the set of pipes that this young girl has. Fanfare is 25 years old, and you are? 13. This is unbelievable. Pass the moisturizer. I'm incredibly old. Can't you imagine how I'm feeling now? This is your rent-a-bus, huh? This is not rent-a-bus, yeah. This is very cool. Yeah. Okay, so does it have any more, 13-year-old things, like, Barbies or anything like that? Barbies. No, I don't play with Barbies anymore. No, I don't think you do. No. Wow, this is like a train.
Yeah.
Which one's yours?
I haven't picked one yet. I think that one.
Oh, think this one?
I think this one.
They all kind of look alike, don't they? Oh, no, go for this one.
Yeah. Oh,
Max.
Yeah.
Food. Okay. We'll put these in here.
Yeah.
There.
I'll have them before I go to bed.
Yeah. Okay.
Now come back here.
It's like a slumber party. So what's back here?
This is the TV room. It was a good dress room today.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
Well, here's your makeup kit.
My makeup.
Did you do your own makeup?
Yeah.
And they're really comparing you to Kitty Wells and various people.
Yeah, they're comparing me a lot to Patsy Cline.
Oh, and Patsy Cline, that's right, that's right.
It's a great honor, but, because she's been one of my big idols through the years. But I want to, I want everybody to know me as me and, know my music.
Okay, so now, you guys, I am officially the last person in line for Garth Brooks, and I'm going to head over to Reba McEntire. Just want you to know, I ain't going down until the sun comes up again, okay?
All right, thanks, Brian, and good luck to LeAnn. Coming up next, the forecast in the kitchen is fabulous. because our weatherman cooks when Good Morning America continues.
Join us. Good stuff.
Late one night in
Well, what makes you happy? What makes you glad? What's about the best food that you've ever had? That's what we got.
And at Morrison's, the best food is a great value. Imagine 2 people getting 2 full meals for $10. At Morrison's, you do. 2 meals for $10. That's 2 salads, 2 entrees, 2 breads and desserts, and any 4 vegetables. 2 people, 2 meals, $10.
Morrison's, anything you want, restaurant, everybody.
Beacon House Furniture must vacate. It's the end of an era. After 40 years, Beacon House Furniture in Homewood is going out of business. Our building has been sold to Forbes Piano. The situation is drastic. A massive wall-to-wall liquidation is underway. Beacon House must sell and sell now. Everything goes to the bare walls. The best in the business for pennies on the dollar. 7 days of frantic furniture selling. Hurry to Beacon House Furniture, accepting cash or check. All major credit cards. 90 days, same as cash. Bring a truck or a van and haul away the value. Beacon House Furniture, 3048 Highway 31 South in Homewood. Hurry, the end is near.
It's a prime time to buy Sierra.
It's prime time to make your best deal on a new Sierra from GMC. Get a great buy now on regular or extended cab 2x4 or 4x4. Sierra from GMC with standard 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, driver's airbag, and AM/FM stereo ready to go.
It's a prime time to buy Sierra.
At your Central Alabama GMC dealer, Steel City, Royal, Courtesy, and Barclay GMC.
Health Partners introduces Seniors First, the first federally contracted Medicare plan in Alabama. With Seniors First, you have over 350 plan physicians to choose from, and hospitalization is covered 100%. We offer comprehensive benefits, plus no plan premiums and no deductibles, so there's no need for a Medicare supplement. If you are currently on Medicare and live in Jefferson County, call Seniors First at 945-8088 for more details.
Well, on this, the 3rd day of our family member cooking week, it's Spencer Christian in the hot seat and right at the hot stove in our beautiful new kitchen. And I got to tell you, he's got a lean, mean spaghetti sauce recipe that is great.
But tasty. Tasty, not
yes,
just lean and mean.
Oh, yeah.
I must tell you, I did not originate this recipe. I actually borrowed or stole it from a guest on this show in 1988 who won a pasta sauce cook-off contest.
Yep.
But I've made my own little variations in the sauce, and we do it at home all the time, and it's great.
Wow. All right.
So, shall we start?
It smells great.
Okay. Well, you're our recipe.
I'm the official reader.
Recipe reader. That's it. That's
You go ahead.
Well, we've already started with the olive oil in the pan here. But
1 teaspoon olive oil.
I'm going to add in some chopped onion.
1/2 onion chopped.
And some chopped garlic.
1 garlic.
And just saute this for a couple minutes till the garlic and the onions get tender, you know.
Just 1 teaspoon? That's so little.
I use more garlic at home. I'm doing this because...
I mean olive oil.
No, the olive oil. Oh, I know. It does seem like a little in here, doesn't it? And I'm not sure I printed that right. That might have been one tablespoon.
If you want to put more olive oil.
But it's working.
You do that.
It
looks
working.
fine.
You probably, it works fine. You don't need very much. I think a tablespoon might be too much, you know. So probably a teaspoon and a half, a couple of teaspoons.
Definitely healthier.
Just long enough on medium-high heat to start getting it, the onion and the garlic tender. Then you want to add in your tomato sauce.
You going to add it into there, or into this pan we already got?
We'll add it in here. All right. Yeah. Well, actually, we already got some here that's already tenderized. So let's do that. Let's flip this over.
This is what it ends up like right here.
Yeah, looks like this.
Sort of caramelized.
Pour right in there.
All right.
1 15-ounce
I must say I have 3 very, very
I'm trying
good critics at home, my 3 kids, and they all 3 love this recipe.
By the
That
way,
was 1 15-ounce can of tomato sauce.
Thank you, Charlie.
Okay, you're welcome.
Not only do your kids love it, but you also apparently love it because you included it in your healthy, your cookbook.
John London's Wealthy Cooking.
Now,
one half cup of chopped tomatoes.
Chopped tomatoes, and that's important. And for those of you who don't know, many of you who cook probably know this, you don't want to get the tomato seeds in there because, well, you might, but they tend to make the sauce a little bitter.
Now 1 cup of water.
1 cup of water. All right.
I'll give you a chance to like.
This is very easy.
Right. This is very simple.
Oh, it's very, very
And
easy.
to this, we add our lentils.
1/4 of a cup of lentils.
And here's the secret. I mean, you have a bunch of protein
Let me tell you why lentils instead of meat. The lentils give you all the protein you get from meat.
Like really good protein.
And a lot of fiber and all the consistency, that crunchy, firm consistency of meat.
And
but no fat. Right.
Does it also give it sort of like fennel wood, sort of a meatier, heartier taste to it?
Exactly, a heartier taste, exactly. Now your spices.
Quarter of a teaspoon of oregano.
Now your spices, okay. And I'm not sure we're cooking with
third of a teaspoon of basil.
But the thing is you can
oregano and basil.
around with this one a little bit.
Oh, you can. You can add spices.
If you like one of these tastes a little bit better, you can
put more in there.
Absolutely.
We need a quarter of a teaspoon of salt, please.
I think we need more heat here, too, but that's okay.
We need a quarter of a teaspoon of thyme. Thank you very much.
Yes,
and we need a dash of hot sauce or Tabasco.
Now, I use a couple of dashes of hot sauce and Tabasco. I tend to like my sauces
give it
hot.
as much kick
but
as
I
you
figured
want.
for the mass audience, we should go for medium spice, you know?
Well, pour some more in, Joe.
Now, okay. What you want to do is
give that part
you want to bring this to a boil, and then once it starts to do that, you cover it and let it and turn it way down and let it simmer. Let it simmer on low for about 45 minutes. And as it simmers for 45 minutes, the lentils will cook. You want to put that pan over there, Charlie?
Okay.
All right.
Through the magic of the ABC stove.
Yeah. All right.
Like that.
And the lentils will cook and become tender. And after about 45 minutes, you've got yourself...
It is getting hot.
Yeah, it is getting very hot. You've got yourself a delicious pasta sauce.
This is really delicious. Now, you can put this over a lot of different kinds of pasta, but you have
all
to like
different
angel
kinds.
hair,
We
right?
prefer angel hair at home, but you can use ziti. You can use... what do you call this? The squiggly,
Charlie, give me
tubular
that plate.
penne. You can use all kinds of pasta. Sir?
I'm going to give you some sauce.
No, I'm just kidding.
Let me just stir
I'm
this
sure there's
sauce up.
some special way to do this, you know, if we'll
No, this is the way we do it at home.
Okay,
We serve
there you
each
go.
individual plate's individual's plate of pasta first, then put the sauce on top.
All right.
And we're going to take a break and come back and tell you how great
We're
this
going to
tastes.
do the taste
At least
test.
I'm going to tell you it tastes great. I don't know if they'll like it or not. If they don't, I'll eat theirs. But we'll be right back.
No, okay.
This is my plate.
It's going to be yours? Okay.
Put lots of sauce on mine.
Lots of sauce.
If you're an America Online subscriber, you can download a copy of this recipe immediately by selecting keyword GMA.
Safari, the men's fragrance by Ralph Lauren. Now your bonus duffel bag with any $30 Safari for Men purchase. Available at Parisian.
It's the final hours of Birmingham and Bessemer Cable's $1 installation. This offer definitely ends tomorrow, but call before the clock strikes midnight tonight, and you'll be hooked up tomorrow for just $1. You'll save over $25. HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, up to 55 channels of your favorite entertainment. But call now. We're waiting by the phones. $1 installation within 24 hours from Birmingham and Bessemer Cable. Call 591-6880 now.
This is interesting.
It's contemporary. Touches of gold are nice.
We can save $2,500. So we get the sculpture?
I prefer the Cadillac DeVille.
Lease the special edition DeVille now for just $469 a month with $26.75 down, and you'll save $2,500 in options, including leather, chrome wheels, gold trim, and custom roof.
See anything you like?
Actually, we do.
See the Cadillac dealers of the South.
I'm Jennifer Chandler-Jones, speaking for the car fitness experts at Express Oil Change. Temperatures in a parked car can rise to well over 100 degrees. If your air conditioning is not cooling properly, you don't have to sweat it. Drive into Express Oil Change and they'll check your air conditioning quickly. And if your AC needs service, they can do it inexpensively. Don't sweat the heat. You're minutes away from cool relief at Express Oil Change. They'll check your AC quickly. That's cool.
Good Morning America is brought to you by Tylenol PM.
It's a total hit here.
Well, I hate to give Spencer credit for anything, but this is passable.
Oh,
It's very good. It really is very good.
Because you were not expecting to like it, am I right? Am I
I
right?
was just expecting something so different, sort of like lentil soup on top of noodles when I thought lentils were in it, but this is really, really good.
It's delicious.
Okay, weather now.
Yeah, well, right while your mouth is really full. Go for it,
It's going to be a sunny and dry day in the west with hot temperatures again today. Storms reaching from the Central Plains and Rockies eastward up into the Great Lakes and over to the Atlantic coast, where there'll be scattered showers and thunder showers throughout the day.
Now it's your turn to talk with your mouth full, big shot. He can't do it.
Tomorrow, Joel...
Great Father's Day gift.
Joel Siegel's going to be making pancakes tomorrow. You'll flip over those. We'll see you tomorrow. Till then, take care.
You've been hanging out with Spencer too long.
Good morning, I'm Cynthia Gould. President Clinton is helping dedicate a new black church to replace one that burned in Greeleyville, South Carolina. He says the rebuilding proves the forces of hatred cannot win in this country. Earlier, Jesse Jackson said the way to end black church fires is to elect officials who pledge to end racism. More news coming up.
Find out what's happening by calling the WBRC Community Bulletin Board at 403-4000. Category WBRC. Channel 6. Online with the internet. News and weather on your computer. Anytime you need it. Channel 6. Your 24-hour news team.
My husband Fred has 3 loves in his life. Me, of course. Our daughter Megan and his Chevy Blazer. He says that his Blazer has all the features he wants in a vehicle. One of those airbags, safety brakes, and a powerful engine. And Fred says that he feels like his Blazer keeps him in complete control, whatever the road conditions. He likes that, and so do I. Now, I don't believe he'd drive anything but a Blazer.
Drive the all-new Chevy Blazer, only at your Heart of Alabama Chevy dealers.
This is it. It's the big one. The biggest one-day sale of the season, this Wednesday at Rich's. With the lowest one-day sale prices of the season on every mattress. Save 20 to 40% and more on Simmons, Serta, and Sealy. But that's not all. Get free delivery with selected styles, free removal of your old mattress, and a free frame with premium sets. Prices start as low as $47 twin size each piece. This Wednesday, it's the big one at Rich's.
Linda Mays, part of your 24-hour news team.